What is the adult version of finding out that Santa Claus doesn't exist? You can do everything right and still fail. The reverse is true as well. Sometimes there is no justice. Finding out that someone you have looked up to and admired your entire life is actually a horrible person. Being a hard worker and good at your job doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be rewarded for it. I thought I'd grow up, move out, find my footing in the grown-up world and basically switch into cruise mode. Now I'm in my 40s and shit is confusing as fuck. Finding out that reaching retirement is about hitting a financial number and not reaching an age. When I was a kid, I thought adults had everything figured out and couldn't wait to grow up so I could be like them. Ha. $500 isn't a lot of money. That some friends were never really your friend. That going to college and getting a 9-5 wasn't going to be the fun, creative, latte-filled experience rom-coms would have you believe. One dumb mistake and it could all be over. For me, it was realizing the high school mindset in people never ends. See it in 60 years olds in Facebook now. Realizing that no, we can't have McDonald's 'cause there is food in the freezer. When you realize basically everyone is just faking it till they make it. That time period when your relationship switches and your parent looks to you for answers and advice. Instead them being the one with all the answers. Working full-time and being too drained to chase your actual dream. You never actually feel like the adult. That working harder does not equal getting paid more or being promoted. There are no hot singles in your area. Realization that your parents are not as smart as you once thought. Finding out people without empathy exist and they are hard to pin down even after many years of exposure to them. Finding out that your parents are people, too, with weaknesses or flaws that you were blind to when you were young. HR is not on your side. Most of the relationships in the teen dramas you loved would actually be toxic as hell in real life. When you buy an 8-piece Tupperware set, 4 of the pieces are lids. When you finish eating your dinner and there is no magical person to wash the dishes and you have to wash them yourself. Realizing you'll probably never have the aha moment that tells you what you want to do with your life and you'd better just pick the least depressing choice. Realizing just how high the deductible is on your insurance. Summer camp is more for the parents than for the kids. Learning that 2 people can love each other more than anything in this world and still not be a good fit for a long-term relationship. True and pure love isn't always enough. Finding out that you're getting older, which means getting uglier, less mobile, worse health, etc. You can delay poor health to an extent, but one way or another, it's coming for us all. That the filter on the water jug doesn't count down to replacement based on usage. It's just a timer. A bachelor's degree is not a coupon redeemable for one full-time job in your field of choice after graduation. Discovering all the shows and movies you loved as a child were crap. And you just enjoyed them because you didn't know any better. That your boss probably didn't get where they are because they did your job well. As a millennial, I was raised to believe that going to college and getting a degree would guarantee me a good future job that would allow me to live comfortably, smiling face with tear. That there are no adults. Everyone's just doing their best. For me, it was finding out those HGTV shows are all more or less staged. Working hard will get you advancement in the company. In reality, being a hard worker keeps you exactly where you are. Management will keep you churning out the good work you do without ever paying you any more than they do. And it make them look good. Finally owning a house. Then realizing you now have to go through the effort and expense of maintaining it. It's great you've got a house for $100K. Now enjoy saving and spending at least half that to stop it crumbling, leaking or falling down over the next decades. Finding out your partner doesn't love you anymore, but just has high anxiety about leaving you. Christmas bonuses almost never exist. Worse fantasy than the clause. Finding out what parents mean when they say budget. Discovering that the special recipe for a dish that your parents have always made was just on the back of one of the ingredients packages. Credit scores were invented in the 90s. That doing what you love for a living and not having to work a day in your life is a very dangerous choice. When you turn your passion into job, it no longer becomes an escape or a hobby. It is now your livelihood. Stuff like doing art, streaming video games, opening your own Etsy shop and expecting to take off like a rocket when it's never that easy, and most people who do it are either very lucky or have been prepping for a very long time. Doing this can cause you to lose your passion and love for it so much that you may never want to touch it again. Having to pay tax instead of getting a tax return. First time this happened to me as a teenager shattered my heart. I had so many plans. Finding out it's the pole that spins, not the stripper. That one day everything anyone ever did will be swallowed up by the sun. Realizing nothing is free. Finding out your mom sleeps around. Just your mom though, mine's a saint. You don't get a pay raise for doing a good job. When you expect your boss to give you a raise for all of your hard work but instead get a pizza party. It's not a meritocracy. Finding out that hard work means they give you more work instead of a raise or promotion. That fruits and veggies expire faster if you pay for it yourself. Spending time trying to understand why something happened often doesn't lead to answers, and can only prolong your healing process. Sometimes closure is moving forward and not ruminating or trying to figure out why. The money doesn't trickle down. It never did. Finding out that in the US it's not really Democrat versus Republican. It's the rich elites versus the rest of us. Finding out that everything you want is not affordable. Recycling is, for the most part, a scam by corporations to move the physical and emotional weight of dealing with the harm their packaging causes off them and onto you. The bullshit of health insurance. There is no justice, no peace, and there never was. Realizing that $1 or even $10 is not much money. That everything we were told growing up about working hard financial success was a damn lie. No one at your job give one shit about you and you don't matter. Realizing that by the time you're old enough to retire, Social Security probably won't exist anymore. Nobody really knows what they're doing. Some are just better at pretending like they do. The main reason why most believe in their religion is because they were born into part of the world where the religion is popular. That you're not going to be financially independent by 30. Learning that Santa is real and you're him. Bullies don't always get their comeuppance. In fact, sometimes they achieve great things. Even the presidency. Finding out that grenadine isn't cherry-flavored lol. That you're going to work your dick off for the rest of your life to just scrape by.